Yo, what is up everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today we have a highly requested video on how to get some precise ass entries in your trading. So the reason I'm making this video is because I got a lot of DMs about this topic, and as you guys have been seeing from my Instagram stories and my trade recaps as well, I've been entering a bit more discretionary in my trading recently just to increase my risk to reward, and I've been able to catch some big ass moves by having a nice precise entry with a smaller stop loss. Now, just before I do get into this video, I want you guys to keep in mind that this is not a topic for beginner traders. This is more of like an advanced type of educational session today. But no matter where you're currently at in your journey, make sure to watch this video all the way until the end, because I promise you, you will learn something from this video. Also, if you're new here, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, really helps the channel grow, as well as you can see more videos just like this every single week. Also, just so that you guys know that I actually know what I'm talking about, here's a payout that I submitted on Friday on Top Step. So I secured a payout across 5 of my Top Step Express accounts. This is just showing you guys, if you look at the date right here, that I actually know what I'm talking about. So I'm not one of these course selling ass traders that don't actually know what they're talking about, make no money trading. I actually know what I'm talking about, and that's why I'm making this video, to help you guys achieve the same outcome, get some funded capital, get some prop firm payouts, get consistent payouts most importantly. But yeah, all that aside, let's get right into the video. Alright, so first of all, to get a precise ass entries, you guys are going to have down some concepts. Now, there are a ton of different ways that you can catch a bottom of a move. Now, one of my favorite is an anticipatory SMT. This is basically getting in right when the SMT forms and not waiting on any closures, nothing like that. Basically just entering either a limit order or a market order right when the SMT is formed, which we will hop on the charts in just 1 second, as well as CE. This is very powerful. I actually have a video on this on my channel, which I will link in the description of this video if you want to check that out, as well as OTE. I believe I also made a video on this, maybe. Not even sure, low-key. I might have a video on this. If not, comment below and I'll make a video on this. But also, imbalance, rebalance. This is a unfilled for value gap that got rebalanced. I will go over the charts about all of these things just in 1 second. But first, let's take a look at some live market examples of trades that I actually took using these concepts right here. This is super simple. It's not some super complicated stuff. The main thing though is having discretion and a lot of screen time, as well as most importantly having a clear ass drawn liquidity. I only go for like a bottom tick entry when my drawn liquidity is super clear. So I just want to make that clear. I'm not always trying to catch a bottom tick. I only take these types of trades when my drawn liquidity on the higher time frame, so the external drawn liquidity is super clear. That's the only time I'll try and go for a entry like this. That being said, let's actually have a talk about discretionary trading and what it actually is. So what discretionary trading is, it's pretty much just having a very strong external bias or narrative, so higher time frames like weekly, the daily, 4-hour, really understanding where price wants to go to, whether we have session liquidity as a target or something like that, or an unfilled 4-hour, unfilled hourly gap, anything like that, as well as understanding where you can have reactions from. Now, we're going to hop on the charts in just 1 second, but I just want to make sure that we have all of these basics down, pretty much just showing you guys the foundation of all of this, as well as if you're trying to bottom tick, you have to have a strong ass psychology, because you can get wicked out when you do have a tighter stop loss, right? Because if you're trying to bottom tick a move, your stop loss most of the time will be a bit smaller than normal. So you still have to maintain a strong psychology, and you got to keep in mind that just like any strategy, any model, you're going to take losses. But what I do really like about getting a precise ass entry is the risk to reward is so positive that it doesn't really even matter if you take 1 loss, 2 losses, whatever, when the winner is 4, 5, 6R towards the external draw. When it works, it really does work when you have a precise ass entry, as well as always just make sure to manage your risk. This is just simple, psychology type of stuff, but it is all just discretionary overall. Also, before we hop on the charts real quick, I just want to show you some examples of trades I took. Obviously, keeping on the executions, I know a lot of people, they try and show you guys trades, but they can't show their actual executions. But you can see right here, 1 bullet, 1 kill. Pretty much here was a 10K day. Here we had 5K day, just 5 top steps. And like I showed you guys before, I actually secured payouts across these accounts on Friday, so actually got to withdraw some of these trades here. But yeah, overall, I believe this was an entry off of CE here on NQ. Also, I'll show you guys a gold trade that I took right here. Pretty much caught the low right after, I believe this was Asia Open. Yeah, Asia Open opened up lower, got a entry off of CE of this range. Also, we're gonna hop on the charts in just 1 second. Don't worry, but this was just another example. As you can see, clean ass execution here. Yeah, overall, just want to show you guys these few trades just to show you a live market example of me actually executing this. And as you can see, you know, pretty much one bullet, one kill is how I like to do things. You know, just shoot one shot, and if it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. You know, manage risk. That's all that matters. Let's actually hop on the charts right now and we'll take a look in some more detail. Alright, so right now if we actually hop on the charts, yes, I'm in replay mode. I want to show you guys pretty much a setup that I took last week a bunch of times in the live market. Pretty much what this is, right? Higher time frame. We're very, very bullish, right? If we actually look at the higher time frame narrative here, we're just having a pullback right now. But the key things I want you to focus on is this range here, right? What are we trading in? What are we rejecting? The OTE of the range, 0.62 retracement, the optimal trade entry, right? And my range here, I just pulled my fib from this low to this high. Pretty obvious range here that we've been trading off of. You can see we were respecting CE here, respected. Now we tapped into OTE, rejected out, right? Higher time frame, say that our bias is super, super bullish, right? If we have a unfilled fair value gap here, right, we can actually set a limit. This is what I did last week. I just had a limit order like this, stop loss, nice and tight, you know, whatever, like 10 points, whatever. Let's see what time is this. This is London, but yeah, just depending on what time you're trading, you know, target whatever you want. But the main thing that I want to show you guys here is the anticipatory SMT. So say that ES is very uncorrelated, right? We can predict, hold up, we can predict that if NQ takes out this low and there's an unfilled gap, that we can just take longs out of there. Now this is a setup that I consider to be pretty much like bread and butter for, you know, bottom ticking. If we take a look right now, this is just an example. You know, break even right there. See how we basically caught the bottom of this move. Let's see. Low-key, don't even know if it ends up playing out all the way, but let's see. Yeah, nice. And the main thing with this is having a clear ass external draw. So if ES is uncorrelated, NQ takes out this low, and most importantly, we have a fair value gap rebalance. This is a setup that I love to take. If you guys already trade the ABS model, you see this happen a lot. But the thing with the ABS model, you know, your entry is a little bit later, which still prints, right? Normal 1 to 2s with the ABS model. It works very, very well. Right here would have been the entry with a bit more confirmation. But if you want to bottom tick the move, you can enter just off that rebalance of the fair value gap. Now, like I said, I do not recommend this to beginner traders. This is a more like advanced, more discretionary type of thing to do. And all that it does pretty much is just gives you a more precise entry to where you can catch pretty much a bigger move. Now, the thing is, with a more precise entry, you can break even more aggressive, right? Say we can literally be risk-free by this internal high here being taken. Better entry, better risk reward. That's pretty much it. The only thing with the bottom tick entries is you kind of have to play your stop loss based on more of like an intuition and more on base discretion. Usually I'll go for like a 40 tick stop to like a 50 tick stop loss when I'm trying to go for like the bottom of a move, you know, around 10 points to like 12 points ideally, because, you know, if you're trying to catch the bottom of a move, you don't really want price to trade more than that. And in this setup, for example, we basically have everything that we talked about, right? We have the anticipatory SMT, which is just waiting on NQ to take out a low that ES is not taking out. So I'm just assuming anybody who's watching this video is pretty experienced as a trader, so you know what a SMT is. If not, you can watch that YouTube video. When NQ takes out the low, ES doesn't, you can kind of just market order or limit order right when that SMT forms, and you can backtest this for yourself. it does play out beautifully when your draw is correct. Most importantly, your draw and liquidity has to be correct. Also, overall, if we actually take a look at some more live market trades, you can see right here was a gold setup banger. You can see one bullet. This was a banger ass day, like 7K day, I think, 7.5 or something like that. And you can see how actually, hold up, you can't actually see this. Can you see it? I don't know, maybe. But you can actually see how precise the entry is when you combine these confluences. Just looking at those rejections, having a clear ass draw, and that entry model of having that anticipatory SMT with a imbalance getting rebalance is super powerful. Also here, you can see CE of this range, right? The 50% was hit right there. Beautiful. So yeah, you can catch big ass moves pretty much when you have a more precise entry, but this is something a lot more discretionary that I would not recommend everybody to do. If you want to get into catching more precise entries, I would recommend, just have a different account for that if you're just starting out. But yeah, it is something that I personally am looking forward to as I develop as a trader to get to that next level pretty much. But yeah, overall, just want to make a quick video on this just so that nobody's confused to what I'm trading now. Overall, the normal ABS model, it's still my bread and butter, of course. That's literally probably the most consistent way to make an income, in my opinion, in trading. It's just taking those consistent 1 to 2 risk rewards, waiting for a bit more confirmation. For me personally as a trader, I'm looking to get to that next level, getting more precise entries, getting big ass moves, catching the entire market maker buy or sell model. And this is what I'm going to have to do going forward, is basically giving myself a more precise entry. So yeah, I just wanted to make this video to pretty much just show you guys what I've been up to. And I am currently actually developing a model for this. It's called the Only Ticks model. It's in development right now. Comment below if you guys mess with that name as well. Only Ticks model. So yeah, it's in development right now, but whenever that's ready, I will make a video on it. Also, if you're a newer trader that's still not yet funded, if you're not where you want to be, if you're crashing out, if you're blowing a ton of money on evaluations, I currently have an offer where I guarantee to work with you one-on-one until you're funded over 6 figures with prop firms and receive your first ever prop firm payouts. So if that's something that you're interested in, you can apply in the first link in the description to work with me one-on-one. If you're a serious trader, I'll reach out to you. We'll see if you're a good fit for my program. And yeah, overall, that's pretty much it. Just wanted to show you guys what I've been up to pretty much. And also just because I've been getting so many questions about like these types of trades, I just want to make a quick little video breaking down kind of some of the confluences that I've been using in my trading. But yeah, overall, hit that like button, apply for the one-on-one if you're interested. Till next time, I'm gonna catch you guys. Love you all. Peace out.